So, dear viewers, we are a little bit ahead of time. Our next presentation comes from Koenig and Bauer. So let me tell you a little bit about the history of Koenig and Bauer. They were founded in Würzburg, a small town in the south of Germany, in 1817. It is actually the oldest printing press manufacturer and the second largest worldwide. I'm delighted to introduce our next speaker. I hope he's ready. We're a little bit early, but that gives you more time for your presentation and question and answers afterwards. The next speaker is Chief Digital Officer and board member of Koenig & Bauer, Ralf Sammeck. Joining him, I also wish to welcome Koenig & Bauer's Head of Digital Business Transformation, Thomas Göcke. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. So let's start the presentation, Thomas. So first of all, I want to welcome everybody. I hope you will find our presentation interesting. So I would like to start with our first chart. Thomas, thank you. So all of you have many touch points with Koenig & Bauer during a day. And I just want to give you an overview what kind of products we can produce with our beautiful machines. So it starts actually already in the morning, as you can see, 7:30, for some of us maybe even earlier. Maybe you have some cosmetics in your bathroom, and yes, this product is also printed on our Koenig & Bauer machines. And then maybe at breakfast, you would like to have an espresso. As you can see, this is a beautiful metal decorated conveyor, and this also is printed on a Koenig & Bauer machine, and not only printed, also coated, and also we have drying systems. And maybe then after breakfast, if you really have a relaxed day, then you read a newspaper, and of course also most of the newspapers are printed on Koenig & Bauer machines. And later on at lunch, hopefully not too often, but for example, fast food, also folding carton, most of the time printed on Koenig & Bauer sheet fed presses, but also post press, so die cutting and gluing also from Koenig & Bauer. And in the afternoon, maybe a little snack, and with this little snack, you will find these little symbols on this package, and this is ID and labeling systems, and also this is produced by Koenig & Bauer. So then in the evening, prior to dinner, you might go shopping, and this is also quite interesting. The banknotes, so the banknotes you have in your hands, in your pocket, 90% of the banknotes are printed on Koenig & Bauer machines, and not only printed, also designed by Koenig & Bauer, and also like passports, so security printing is also a major business for us. Then in the evening, you might have some package from online ordering. It's actually printed also on Koenig & Bauer machines, on the corrugated machines. So printing directly on corrugated, digitally, but also flexo, and also die cutting with a rotary die cutter. And in the evening, maybe a snack, please not too often, but this is also actually printed on Koenig & Bauer web flexo machines. So as you can see, you will have many products during the day in your hands, all produced on the beautiful Koenig & Bauer machines. And here you see one beautiful machine. This is our Rapida sheet-fed lithopress. It's a machine just rewarded for the beautiful design and the technology. And but you know, and this is the topic of today's presentation, to offer the best machine is great, but the customer expectations, of course, have changed. And most important for us and for you as well, I'm pretty sure, we want to make our customers most successful. So we want to make them more profitable. So therefore, we want to offer not only the best technology, we also want to offer digital services within the entire asset life cycle. And what do we mean with that? And Thomas, if you give us the next one, yes. Of course, we want to be more proactive. So it's very important to have a very close communication with your customer. And so what can we do to make them more profitable? We have to do more support. We want to have more touch points with our customers. We want to be in direct communication. We want to offer very helpful advices, offerings, and also content. But also we want to be more like an advisor, a trusted advisor. And we mean it really, it's very important to us. We want to be a trusted advisor because, as you could see, we can offer all kind of technology for printing and post-press. Therefore, we really can suggest the right technology, the right system for our customers, and not pushing one product, because we can offer the whole gamut of programs, the whole portfolio. But also we want to provide, to be the right partner, a very customized service, training, and of course also consulting. And Thomas would like to show you what it means to be a trusted advisor, and also what kind of technology we can offer to make our customers more successful. Thomas.
Thank you, Ralf. So in a nutshell, being a trusted advisor, that means for us, and that's really the core of what we are doing every day here, it means making our customers highly profitable. Really understand and anticipate what's important for customers, how to make them profitable, successful in the market, differentiate them from their competition, and at the end, increase as well the customer satisfaction, differentiate this way ourselves from our competition. So, and when we talk about being the trusted advisor, technology takes in a substantial role. And especially now, since we are in the age of digitalization and the connectivity of things, these are really the enablers for our approach of being the customer trusted advisor, and not just for our approach. I think we can see this clearly cross industries. And just brought with me two examples how technology, digitalization, and the IoT connectivity we are seeing pretty much every day, even of private life, is used in order to be more professional and more profitable. So we see, for instance, the new business model launched by Trumpf, by the German manufacturer Trumpf, when they don't sell their equipment, their assets anymore, but they have a business model which is based on a pay-per-part or pay-per-used philosophy. Another example, which shows just how powerful digitalization and the connectivity and the implementation of artificial intelligence is a new automotive diesel factory built in China, where they combined just IoT and big data and immediately could raise or could achieve an output increase of 10% just by implementing this technology. So if we talk about our world and we talk about the connected presses, the connected industrial assets, and so in the past, the point was, yes, we use the technology in order to connect to the presses to do remote maintenance and remote diagnosis. And actually, the interesting story is that we do this since, I would say, pretty much 20 years already. And the amazing story is that we can even solve 80% of all service calls just remotely without sending technicians over, and bring the press up and running and keep it in production. But based on that technology we are having in place since a longer time, I would say, we are using the same technology, collecting usage data of the presses and putting them into our data lake. We can build services around these data and the industrial assets. And that enables us to jump into the trusted advisor role, because with that knowledge, we know exactly what's going on a customer side. We really understand inside out what's the situation on the customer. And if I say we, that means our sales department, our service department, our campus, our training center, everybody knows exactly the situation, the status of the life cycle at the customer side. And so we can provide the best services. We can even predict the next steps we have to do. We have to deliver towards the customer in order to fulfill his expectation of us being the trusted advisor, increase his profitability, press availability, and so on. The services we have built around that technology, around that connectivity of assets, we have branded, we call it connected services. And a few of them I want to cover within the next seconds or minutes, next slides. So what we did in the past and what we have done, we connected the press and implemented the connectivity layer into the press console, so the station where the press operator runs the press. So it's a PC and he's operating the press, adjusts the settings, goes into production, changes between make ready and production and so on. And at that press console, if he has a question, if he's not 100% sure what he should do, if he has, let's say he's challenged by his production press room manager with a new job he has never done before and he needs support by Koenig & Bauer, he just pushes a button. We are there immediately with a chat window. The press usage data is transferred to us. Our service engineer can look immediately into the settings of the press and can support him to realize the best performance for our customers possible. And at the same time, we can, of course, use that technology if there's a service issue, connect to the customer, create automatically a service case with our systems and work on that as a joint teams. Having this data of all the connected presses enables us as well to generate performance reports and benchmarking and generate, for instance, these beautiful one-pager performance overviews, which we can use internally for our organization, but as well, we're taking the same document and attach it automatically to the asset record in our CM system, which is accessible for our customers via our customer community. So they see the top high-level performance overview as well. The second it's generated, it's delivered to the customer. He can open that right from the palm of his hand via mobile devices. Talking about numbers, talking about an overview about what's going on service, that's a benefit for us as well as a manufacturer of industrial assets, because based on the usage of that industrial asset, we can generate suggestions and opportunities for maintenance and service calls. That opens up, again, the opportunity for us to jump into the role of the trusted advisor, because we can proactively, and we are calling actually proactively our customers to tell them, hey, dear customer, there's the maintenance due, these are the parts you are needing. Let's schedule a service appointment, a service call, so that it fits to your production schedule. And we can ensure that the press is running at the top performance. And at the same time, this generates for us, and as a manufacturer, of course, additional revenue. And that is, again, the core of every business, generating revenue and being the trusted advisor of our customers. Having all that data, yes, right.
Thomas, so every customer, of course, you all don't like if the machine just stops. So what you are saying, Thomas, is we can do it proactive. We can see this with very intelligent software that there might be a problem in the next weeks, and we can schedule very easily together with our customers a service call and check the machine or exchange a part. And this is then scheduled and not an interruption when you have your most important job.
Yes, and that's exactly like our proactive approach. Even that leads to one of the next topics we're going to cover, predictive maintenance, looking into the future and preventing errors before they even occur at the press. Yes, but let me go one step back and let's talk one more time about the usage of industrial data. And since we have all that data, we really understand what's going on the market. We can clearly see trends on a global scale. And as well, we use our performance benchmarking program towards our customers to help them to improve their profitability, to improve the performance of the presses, when or while benchmarking their presses anonymized against other presses on the market. So this is nothing the customer can do by its own. It's totally anonymized, but it's a service we are providing towards our customers to really understand where are we staying, what's the room for improvement, and is there even room for improvement? And that what we see here is an example of one of the use cases or one of the service we are providing. The blue dots are presses related to one bigger group of customers, and it shows clearly that that customer has the performance of his presses really in the top quadrant, top right quadrant, and that means presses are running up to top performance. I mentioned before that we have that internal view into the press usage and press performance data, but as well, we are sharing these data with our customers. So give them the insights about the industrial assets to make them to make them transparent for them to understand what the performance is, for how the press is running, service, upcoming service, maintenance scheduled, and so on and so on. And that helps us to get in close and direct, that platform, that customer community helps us to get in close and direct contact with our customers, with our service specialists, to run the service management and increase at the end again, the performance and the profitability of our customers and make them successful in the market. Now let's switch a little bit topic, since we talked about in the headline of our presentation, the usage of artificial intelligence, and what we have named or what we have seen, the topic, the theme of our presentation wasn't artificial intelligence, it was artificial ignorance. And I'm going to cover right now why we talk about artificial ignorance and not just artificial intelligence. So what's the big story here? What we do see in the market, and this is really not related just to the printing industry, that's cross-industry, there's a clear trend that, especially in the past, we saw selective solutions in combination with the usage of artificial intelligence towards customers to understand markets insights and or after market insights. What does the customer need? What can we, how can we produce better products and so on. But what we do see now is a trend to take a more holistic approach, to collect all data across the entire value chain into a data lake and make use of technology in the context of artificial intelligence and build applications which can support, on the one hand side, the customer, but as well the manufacturer and partners along the entire value chain, and generate at the end more customer satisfaction, more revenue for the provider of these solutions, but as well increase profitability along the entire value chain on the customer side and as well on the manufacturer and asset side. Talking about the predictive maintenance approach we are taking, we brought an example here to give you a little bit more understanding on what we are doing. So our presses are equipped with dozens and dozens of bots and sensors. These bots are kind of digesting and listening into the stream of data we are collecting from the presses, and they are trained to separate the normal from the non-normal behavior. And once they realize or recognize abnormal behavior, they create automatically service cases. They assign the service case to our service specialist team. And with the usage of data and the automatically generated analytics dashboards, our service engineers understand immediately, hey, there's a technical issue on that press. As of now, in that case, for instance, that doesn't lead to a downtime of the press. But if we predict that error, how it develops in the future, for sure in 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, that will lead to an outage at a certain component of the press. So we're using artificial intelligence to predict failures before they occur. And what we see here is that there was an automatically generated service case here within our system. In that case, sheet travel errors occurred. That means the paper which we are feeding into the press did not run smoothly enough. Our service engineers got informed automatically they investigate and do a deep dive into the root source of the error on the press. They replace the sensor, and then at the end, after the service call, the sheet travel errors were back in the normal kind of range. So if we talk about predictive maintenance, it's as well about how to, and especially about how to separate the normal from the non-normal behavior. So how do we use artificial intelligence in order to filter out of that huge stream of data? To give you an idea, we're talking about 30,000 sensor messages per day and press. How do we separate out of this stream of data, that data which identifies wrong behavior, failure behavior of the press? And we are using that with a technology, we call it artificial ignorance. So what does that mean? Let's have a look into a stream of data, just to get you an idea how that looks like. What we see here on right-hand side in light blue, these are the data we are getting from the press. So really just error numbers, timestamps, and that's it pretty much. So how to separate out of this stream of data, the non-normal from the normal behavior? And the answer is via artificial ignorance, because what we are doing, we put certain things together and combine them and take them out of the data stream and put them away because they describe normal behavior. And that's probably what we have all experienced as well in a supermarket. Because, for instance, if we look into that sales receipt, we see meat, we see kidney beans, we see corn, and that means somebody is cooking chili con carne. And if you look next time you go to a grocery store, the good ones, they are putting kidney beans and corn together, and maybe together with the coupon or with the offer for meat at the
Thomas
desk.
Göcke, can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'm terribly sorry to interrupt you here at the point when you're talking about beans and stuff. Thank you so much for your presentation. We are slowly running out of time and going into the next presentation already. Unfortunately, I would have loved to ask you some questions.
We are pretty much done. One slide, please.
Okay.
So having that approach enables us to an anti-RT-based automatic service process for the press, scheduling automatically service cases, transfer this data to our internal service organization. That information is shared with our customers and with our field service organization and our customers, so automatic integrated end-to-end process. And that helps us at the end to increase our customer satisfaction, to have a customer's 360-degree view towards the customer, fulfill our role as a trusted advisors. And at the end, it shows really some strong numbers here. Does that make sense? Yeah, it makes sense for us, especially if you're talking about the declining market we are in. As we see on the left-hand side, our market share is growing since a couple of years in a market which is really challenging. And this is part of that success is the use of digital technology, digitalization, in order to be the trusted advisor of our customers to fulfill their needs and their requirements. Thank you.